Okay, I get it. Dang.
Oh my goodness.
Is LeBron James the GOAT? The answer is fuck no. He is not the GOAT. Wanna know why? Because I am. The better question to ask is LeBron James a close second to me? The answer is I actually don't know, because growing up I didn't really watch Jordan play. So all I've seen is LeBron, like my whole entire life. That's all I've seen my whole entire life is LeBron James. So I couldn't say if he's better or worse than Jordan. But what I can do is watch this video on if LeBron is the GOAT or not, and help that make me a better informed decision. You feel me? I don't know if I structured that sentence right, but yeah, fuck it. Let's get into this motherfucker. It's literally called Proof LeBron James is now the GOAT over Jordan. So let's check this motherfucker out. Oh, stupid ass ad, bro. Come on.
I don't want a bigger bundle. What are these fees?
Actually, the smart.
Hey man, it's your boy BDJ. It's like 3 a.m. Well, I'm over here editing this stuff, and I'm putting this in as a disclaimer that as you're gonna see, I'm actually gonna debunk a lot of the stuff that he says, and I'm just putting the disclaimer in that I'm actually not attacking this dude like in any way, shape, or form. It just so happens that I disagree with a lot of his points, and so I'm only putting this in because I don't want no nonsense being sent over his way talking about how I'm attacking him or whatever. I know how people get. And another thing is, this was not supposed to be a debunking video. I was supposed to just react to some little video on LeBron James being the GOAT. So a lot of my facts, even though they are true, but they're not like. I just need to get if you don't fact check me. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Even though I am, most of the stuff I say in here are true. You still need to fact check me. Like for example, I said something about Jordan having to play point guard for like a whole season. He didn't play point guard for a whole season. He played it for like a couple of games. So little stuff like that. Even though it's true, my facts are just a little bit off because this is just straight off the dome, straight off of memory. I didn't like I said, I did not plan this video to be like this. So none of my facts are like 100% grounded, but they are facts. So you can fact check me. You need to fact check me before you just go along with what I said. But pretty much that's it. Y'all enjoy the rest of this video.
This thing you're gonna hear about LeBron James versus Michael Jordan came from Kevin Garnett and Dwayne Wade.
It can't be one great player of all time. No. It's the greatest of generations. Like I know, and
that makes sense.
It's GOATs of eras, bro. It's GOATs of eras. And that's how we should leave it. It's eras. He is the GOAT of this era. Yeah. But then there's gonna be another person that's gonna come.
Contested.
And he's gonna do something that we ain't never seen before.
And he's gonna be the GOAT of that era.
Actually, that sounds really reasonable, but it's wrong.
What?
The reason we can say it is they didn't play that far apart. Jordan finally retired in 2003. LeBron was drafted in 2003. Both guys would dominate any.
But okay. So I know Jordan, but the only reason he says Jordan didn't retire to 2003, but we all know you can't really count the last couple years of an NBA player's career because they're old. They're not playing at their maximum capacity. So I don't know why he would say that. That's stupid to me. That's stupid.
It is a fair comparison, and now that LeBron has won another ring, the debate
that's
is
stupid
over.
to me.
This video tells the 3 reasons LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. And before you comment,
in all seriousness, no. Okay, hold up. In all seriousness, though, I think that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. That's what I actually think. Like, no BS, all the BS aside, I think MJ is the GOAT. Let's see what this nigga says.
Number 1, LeBron's biggest argument over MJ comes at the end. Hey, it's Casey. Welcome to AM Hoops. Subscribe and hit notification bells because we're still going to come out with 5 videos per week, even in the off season. But that's all I'm going to say because this is a huge video. Let's get into it. And reason number 3 that LeBron is now the GOAT is rings aren't everything. We have to start with the rings because obviously MJ has 6 to LeBron's 4. But if it were all about rings, Bill Russell would be the GOAT.
Okay, so he's saying that rings aren't everything, but if you remember at the beginning of his video, he says that now that LeBron's won another championship.
It's a fair comparison, and now that LeBron has won another ring, the debate
That's
is
stupid
over.
to me. So he says that rings are everything, but then at the beginning of the video, he uses rings as a reason to justify his position. That literally contradicts itself. What is he talking about? Because on one side he's saying that rings are not everything, but then he says that now that LeBron has another ring, he's the definite GOAT. That you're literally contradicting yourself. But let's keep it rolling.
With 11, or Tim Duncan would be better than LeBron with 5, but rings aren't everything. I've heard people say that MJ played in a tougher era and that this era is soft. Actually, LeBron had the more difficult era. He would have 5 or 6 rings if it wasn't for the super team era. The NBA literally assembled the superest team ever with 4 Hall of Famers just to beat LeBron. We'll never see it again. In 2016, the NBA salary cap made a
super teams have always existed. The only reason that like you're saying that is because there's just like it's because the reason people saying that super teams are just now a thing is because super teams are being created by players instead of being created by teams. Super teams have always been a thing, like literally always. The only difference from back then to right now is that instead of teams making the super teams back then, it's the players that are making the super teams right now. But he is correct in saying that the Golden State Warriors did assemble the superiest team of all time. Because KD, Curry, Clay, Draymond, DeMarcus Cousins, all in the same team, that was disgusting, bro. That was disgusting. But saying that super teams never existed before, that's a straight lie, and you know that. Come on now.
a record jump to a record high, and that allowed Golden State to sign Kevin Durant.
Okay, hold up. Before I go back, because I can't just say that point, but I'll give you an example. Let's go. What's it called? Bad Boys Detroit. That was a super team. The Bulls were a super team. Let's see. Were the Rockets are two superstars on the same team considered a super team? Because let's not bring that up.
To a 73-win
fuck
team.
it. Let's just keep the video
LeBron
going.
should not be punished for being in the era that allowed the KD Warriors. A lot of people hold LeBron's finals record against him. He lost 6 finals while Jordan won 6 finals MVPs. Would they rather have LeBron lose in the conference finals and have a perfect finals record? People forget it's a team game. While MJ had Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Steve Kerr, and others, LeBron lost in 2018 to the KD Warriors after Kyrie Irving left. In 2015, no Kyrie or Kevin Love to injury. In 2014, 4 Hall of Famers beat him while his health was aging. And in 2007, LeBron took the worst supporting cast to the finals.
That is
the
facts.
only real knock
That is
I
facts.
will accept is losing in 2011 because LeBron was legit bad in that series to Dallas. Besides that, LeBron has been to the finals 10 of the last 11 years. He's been a beast in every finals except one. He is not the reason his team's lost. And for people who knock LeBron...
I mean, you can't use that as a point. You can't use the point that LeBron's never been the reason that his team's lost as a point because Jordan has never been the reason his team lost. So once again, literally cancels each other out. But what do I know? I'm just a reaction channel. I don't know nothing.
LeBron LeBron's NBA
shit.
Finals record? He actually has more NBA Finals records than anyone. The list is too big to read off. Just look at the numbers on your screen.
Okay, another thing. Of course he would have more finals records. He's been to the finals more times than Jordan. Simple math. This is basic math. Come on. Of course he would have more stats. He's been there more times. Come on now.
Forget that he's 4 and 6 in the NBA Finals. Again, that is a team stat. This is what the individual numbers say on the biggest stage. It is a team game, and LeBron is the only person to win as the best player on 3 different...
Okay, and here's another thing. He keeps on bringing up this is a team game, it's a team game, it's a team game. And then he brings up that LeBron has the best stats despite it being a team game, right? But if you remember earlier, he kept on repeating on how LeBron had to carry horrible teams. You feel me? So I don't know if I'm conveying my point right. So let me think for a second. Okay, so he's saying that basketball is a team game, right? But he's saying that despite basketball being a team game, LeBron has been able to consistently perform like at ridiculous numbers and put up crazy high numbers. But if you paid attention earlier, he said that LeBron has brought horrible teams to the finals on multiple occasions. He's been in the finals without superstars, which that explains right there within himself why LeBron has those crazy inflated stats. That coupled with the fact that he's been to the finals more times than Jordan. So you brought up a point, but then you also disproved. You also disproved your own point at the same time. But what do I know? I don't know nothing.
Different teams. Rings matter, but ring count is not the end of the argument. Reason number 2 is bias. I really think in like 30 years, people will look back and say, obviously LeBron James is the GOAT. It's just different when we're watching something happen than remembering it. Michael Jordan gets the benefit of nostalgia. His career is either an awesome memory to those who watched it, or a 10-hour epic documentary called The Last Dance. Plus, so many people hate LeBron James.
I actually don't hate LeBron James. I love LeBron. I just don't like niggas that cock ride him. So, yeah.
Everyone outside of Miami was rooting for the Mavericks in 2011 after the decision. LeBron was named America's most disliked athlete in 2012 by Forbes magazine. Jordan, on the other hand, was a poster on the walls of every fan alive, and he's got an iconic shoe brand. People idolize Michael Jordan and hate LeBron James. That is bias. When all that dies down, decades from now, people will say LeBron was the GOAT because they won't have that bias.
But okay, here's another thing. You're once again disproving yourself because you're saying that people have a bias because they're remembering how Jordan was in the past, right? But then you say that LeBron in the future is going to be hands down the GOAT or whatever. But once again, you got to think in the future, people are going to have a bias towards LeBron because they're going to be remembering him from the past. Once again, you're bringing up a point, but then you're disproving it with your own points. Like, okay, I actually didn't make this video to be like attacking him or sound like I'm attacking him. That's not the. I literally just picked a random video. It just so happens that I'm able to break down like most of your points. Like this one right here. Like you're saying that people prefer Jordan right now because they have a bias towards them because they remembered. They're remembering him for the past. So you say that. So you're saying to combat that in the future, LeBron. That bias won't exist, so LeBron will be the clear-cut champion or whatever GOAT. But once again, in the future, people will be remembering LeBron, which would mean he would have this same bias that Jordan is having right now. So, like, once again, it's contradicting itself. I don't know. Let's get. What do I know?
But reason number 1 is making his teammates better. If Michael Jordan was better,
that is facts. LeBron. I'll give that to LeBron. Jordan did it by himself, but LeBron, he makes his teammates better. You can't even fucking lie.
Better than LeBron
I can't even
James.
do that shit.
Wouldn't he have won more without Scottie Pippen or Phil Jackson in the regular or postseason? Why is it that no matter who his teammates are or who the coach is, LeBron James always seems to win? LeBron has been to the final.
He doesn't always win, okay? Because if he always win, he would have 10 rings right now. So let's cut that out. Let's cut that out. Okay? He doesn't always win. Because if he always won, he would have 10 rings. Let's say, instead of saying he always wins, let's say that he's always able to bring them to the finals. Okay? But there's a difference between bringing his team to the finals and winning. There's a difference. Let's cut that out.
With 3 different teams, 5 different head coaches. LeBron is the #1 factor in every single championship run. He's the only player top 10 all-time in scoring and assists. And LeBron will be the NBA's all-time career points leader when his career is over.
But once again, you gotta come and take in consideration. LeBron, he's been playing for a really long time. What has it been like? I actually don't know. I was about to say 13, but that feels way off. But he's been playing for a long time. He's been playing longer than most of these players have played. Except for Kobe. I think that nigga played like 20 years. But yeah, if you play more years than people, of course you're going to have higher stats. Especially if you perform at a level like LeBron. So yeah.
Over. He already passed MJ and Kobe. He will pass Karl Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
But that is fact. So if LeBron keeps on playing like he's playing, he's going to be #1 in points. And like top 5 in assists.
Obviously, Michael Jordan was an assassin with a killer instinct and a confidence that LeBron just doesn't have. If I wanted someone to take the last shot, it would be Michael Jordan. MJ would beat LeBron James one-on-one, but pro basketball is not one-on-one basketball. LeBron's best attribute is his IQ. He makes his teammates better. He'll turn a C player into a B or a B player into an A. If I was to start...
Okay, here's the thing. Jordan could have done the same thing. He just wasn't put in the role to do that. Like, for example, Jordan's primary role while he was playing was to score. That was his primary role, to be a scorer. His primary role was not to be a facilitator or to set his teammates up. His primary role was to score the basketball. So that's what he did. But I forgot what year it was. But there was a year when their point guard, the Bulls point guard, got hurt, and Jordan had to play point guard for like I think it was like around 3 to 5 games. And that 3 to 5 games, he facilitated out his fucking mind. I think he averaged like a triple double or something. I might be completely wrong because I'm vaguely remembering this, very vaguely remembering this. So I might be completely wrong, but I might be wrong about the triple double. But I know for a fact that one year the Bulls point guard got injured. Jordan had to play the point guard, and he went fucking crazy facilitating. So using that as a basis, you can say that if we're using a lot of ifs here, if Jordan was put in position of being facilitator as LeBron is, he would be able to do the same thing. But once again, what the fuck do I know?
Start a franchise, it would be with LeBron James. LeBron makes his team so much better than they should be. His best team was probably the 2013 Heat. They went 16-7 in the postseason and almost lost to the Spurs. MJ's best team was the greatest of all time. The 96 Bulls won 72 games and a title. Jordan also had the 91 Bulls with Pippen and Horace Grant, considered a top 10.
But how are you going to penalize a player for having a better team? Like, what the fuck that got to do with the players? Players don't choose their teammates. Oh wait, they do. LeBron has the ability to choose his teammates because the NBA is in an era where players are able to form their own teams. But Jordan didn't have that, so you can't fault a player for having a good system around him. That really doesn't make sense. How the fuck does that make sense? You're gonna penalize him because he has good teammates. Like what? How does that make sense? You're gonna penalize him because he had good teammates. Really? Come on now. So off of that, just everybody on every great player on a bad team is automatically like penalized. So they're not good players because they don't have good teammates, right? Or hold on, what the fuck am I talking about? Bro, it's like 2 a.m. bro. Let me gather my thoughts real quick. Y'all probably not gonna see this shit. If y'all do, then I'm lazy as fuck. No, I said what I want to say. You're gonna penalize the good players on bad teams. No, you're gonna penalize. Fuck. You're gonna penalize. There you go. You're gonna penalize good players on good teams because they have good teammates. So every player that's on a good team, or every amazing player on a good team, just doesn't get credit, right? Because they're in a good system. Okay.
10 team. LeBron never had help like that, but he elevated what he did have to the finals almost every year. Even take this year, for example. The 2020 Lakers are LeBron James, Anthony Davis in a below-average roster. And speaking of eras, yeah, Jordan played in a tougher era. They had the hand check. But LeBron has had to evolve and dominate.
Not gonna lie, Jordan played in a tougher era, but LeBron plays in a more skilled era. So I don't know why you didn't go into detail about that. That's something you could have used to like counteract the tougher era thing. But I don't know. I don't know, man. You do you.
Across eras. He came up in the mid-2000s when it was a lot like 1990.
Because you can't even lie. Like, the skill that NBA players have, like, right now, fuck no. The 90s players are not fucking with these niggas, bro.
Basketball. Big men dominated. It was more of an inside-out game. Right when he gets to the peak of the sport, everything changes. Old school guys like Charles Barkley said, oh, a jump shooting team will never win a title. The Warriors not only won, they changed how the game was played.
I mean, that's what you get for listening to Charles Barkley. That nigga's a fucking dumbass.
Those old school guys would never have survived that revolution. But instead of being phased out, LeBron reinvented himself and started shooting more threes. Most old guys age into a post-up game.
Okay, but like, look, just because you shoot more threes doesn't mean that you're good. LeBron is not a good three-point shooter. Just because you shoot more doesn't. Come on now. If you're a 30% career shooter and you start shooting more threes, that doesn't make you a better shooter. That just means you get more volume. So you're gonna make more threes because you're shooting more, but you're not actually a better shooter. You might have to fact check me on that because I don't know if he's 30%. I know he's not no fucking 40%. I'm pretty sure he's like at 35 or 37. But yeah, you're gonna have to fact check me a lot in this video because this is off the dome. I actually was not planning on breaking down this video like at all. It's just like I picked a random video, and then it's like now we're here. Cause I just feel like fuck. God damn. This video wasn't even supposed to be no 20-minute long video, bro. This shit was supposed to be like 13 minutes at max. It's just like I keep having to pause because like I don't know. He just contradicts himself over and over again. But maybe I'm just a dumbass. Maybe I'm just talking on my ass and I don't know what I'm talking about. You let me know. You let me know.
LeBron's game has gotten even more perimeter-oriented. He's now 15th all-time in threes. And one more note about era. LeBron had to deal with the social media era. He had to think.
Are you serious? What's that? What does that have to do with anything? I thought we're talking about how he's good on the court. I could give you a pass on the rest of your, but you're talking about social media. What does that have to do with hooping? Jesus Christ,
what
bro.
Worked and eventually did his whole 0 dark 30 thing before winning with the Miami Heat. Jordan never dealt with that. But the best example of LeBron making his teammates and his teams better and why he's the GOAT is what happened to those teams after he left. Twice, the Cavaliers went to the bottom of the league, and Miami melted. Jordan, when he left for baseball in 1993, the Bulls probably should have made the NBA Finals. Look, it's a really
probably, but oh my God,
close argument, and I'm not taking anything away from MJ. He's amazing, but LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. Support AM Hoops and click subscribe.
Let's see what these comments are talking about, bro, because I can't be the only one. 1.5K dislikes. Okay, let's see what these comments are talking about, bro. Despite that, this guy making a point. Too bad that the Jordan fan will never. Bro, I've actually listened and I'm breaking down why this nigga is not. What the fuck? LeBron equals Thanos. Already had to assemble the Avengers. Yeah, we already talked about that. Michael Jordan sees title. So that's when I took it personally. Come back to the NBA. I mean, LeBron ain't a threat. I'm not saying he isn't a threat, but me being compared to him, I took offense to that. Cutting out. Blah blah blah. Rings aren't everything, but rings are something. Yeah, we know that. Logo, okay. How do you even get that motherfucking... Oh, it's just a gold emoji, okay. My dude, have you ever heard of the Detroit Pistons? This is what I fucking said. This is what I said earlier. Have you ever heard of the Detroit Pistons? Come on, this is what I said earlier. Well, he's not also the reason why his team won. Okay, that's what I said earlier. Your arguments are so obvious, and they're obviously being... You can obviously break them down. I didn't know that 11 became... That's rude, okay? Lance Aldrich, so whatever, you're rude as fuck. I love you, man. I've been saying this since LeBron won his third chip, okay? Go Purdy on his all the time, blah, blah, blah. You gotta be the calmest face out, blah, blah, blah. Just a couple more comments. Another 3 years in the final with Cleveland, blah, blah, blah. LeBron makes team better. Jordan has two of the best teams. He made those teams great. Oh yeah, I forgot. You mentioned that Jordan had two of the best teams of all time. They were great because of Jordan. Like, them niggas was not doing shit by themselves. You think Scottie Pippen could carry a fucking team? Hell no. Well, I'm contradicting myself because nigga, like, none of LeBron's teams could carry themselves without LeBron. So, yeah, I just contradicted myself, too. So, yeah. Yo, blah, blah, blah. I love watching AM hoops. However, this video only proved to me that Jordan is still the GOAT. You said it. Every kid had a poster of Michael Jordan on the wall. That's because he's the GOAT. Okay. Factual. He didn't really use any facts, actually, because he didn't really use any facts. The only facts he used were the statistics he brought up, but those statistics could be, like, broken down. The rest of his points were just conjecture, and you could just break them down. Why? Because he contradicts himself, like, 5 seconds earlier before he makes a point. MJ won 2,700-ish games without losing 3 in a row. Let that sink in. That is an amazing feat. But that can be broken down into having a good team. So that you can't really give that to him. When you have KC even more every day, this kind of talk will get you unsubscriber. Just say you're a big LeBron fan. Okay, that's the end of this video, bro. I'm done with this dude. Oh yeah, I forgot to say like, comment, subscribe. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Join the BBCs, and we're out.